She has been the recipient of the Alabama Humanities Grant, Alabama State Council of the Arts Grant, and the National Endowment for the Humanities Summer Seminar of College Teachers Grant. She has served as an adjudicator for the Alabama State Council on the Arts, the National Endowment for the Humanities, and the Alabama Humanities Alliance. Please join me in welcoming, again, Dr. Ramona Hyman, as she speaks on her book, A Letter from Grandma Annie.
Young people, I simply want to say thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Guy. Thank you. You are writers. Now I see this guy in the red. Yep, you're a writer too. You are writers. Gosh, when I think of how I came to love pouring words on paper, I think of Grandma Annie. Yep. You don't hear the big on that phone?
Mm-hmm.
I think of Grandma Annie. She and Papa Raymond, both of them, gave me my love for writing. Young people, always remember your writer. And I take this time to simply thank you for your poems and your short stories. Because what you all did for us is you bequeathed to us a gift. You gave us a gift. You poured from your heart into ours. You poured from your heart into ours. Grandma Annie gave me this love of books. When Grandma Annie used to read Billy and me poetry, we would sit, y'all with me? We would sit with our ears just hanging close to her lips. She would give us such beautiful words. It was like she was writing a love letter to us for free. Each one of you writers, Anaya, and Zaina, and Ferris, and Ruby, and Elias, and Reese, you're writers. So just let me continue to share my story about why I love writers. It's like this. Sarah and Victoria and Wheaton and Autumn and Lena. Grandma Annie used to say such pretty words. Sometimes they would simply just pull us up off the floor. Did you all know that language can just pull you up off of the floor? When she said, the sky is a huge, huge pillow that floats in the air. Samantha and Louise and Emily and Noah and Darianne, just imagine yourselves being pulled by words up off the floor. And then she say, the sky is a huge pillow that floats all in the air. And then she would tell us, because sometimes we would be, are you all afraid to go to sleep sometimes? Are you all afraid to go to sleep sometimes? When we would be afraid to go to sleep, she would say, the words will float down to be with you, like a feathery dream beneath your head. A feathery dream beneath my head. And I would sleep, and I would sleep. Yep, Abigail, Vivian and Sophia and Samaya, I would just fall asleep. I tell you all that Grandma Annie says that poetry, she used to tell me poetry. My Grandma Annie was a church lady, folks. She used to say poetry is a little like faith. You can't understand it every time, but you sure can feel it. Can you feel it? I like the way poetry makes me feel. Ella, I like the way poetry and short stories makes me feel. Sometimes, Emily, words form poetry and story makes me feel like dancing. Hugh, where's Hugh? I think I still see. I just want to tell you, sometimes it makes me feel like dancing. Do you like to dance? That's just you and I here. Do you like to dance? Huh? Sorta. You're trying to figure it out. How you should dance in front of all these people. Sometimes it makes me feel like dancing. I like the way poetry and short stories make me feel. Sometimes it makes me feel like dancing, like when Grandma Annie tells the poem about Pop Raymond's favorite string beans. Now, Pop Raymond was my real Pop. And he said, if you didn't eat a string bean, you can't write a poem. Hey, if you don't eat your string beans, you can't write a poem. I tell you, she snaps her fingers so we could feel the beans moving. And then she said, Pop Raymond, Lady in Red, Pop Raymond was a string bean man. So we can feel them beans moving all over the land. Pop Raymond, the string bean man, he throws them beans in a big old pot. He eats them when they're good and hot. Now, I gotta tell you all, there was a time when I didn't want to eat string beans. But when I found out that if I didn't eat a string bean, I would not be able to write a poem, guess what I did? What'd you say? I ate my string beans, sister. I ate my string beans. And I ate them when they were good and hot. Pop Raymond likes short string beans. It's okay to be short. Short string beans, they're tiny, sweet, and fun to eat. Now, Pop is big and very tall with a big belly like a bouncing ball. Now, don't talk about my Pop because he had one of those big bellies like a bouncing ball. I didn't tell you to talk about him, but he had a big belly like a bouncing ball. And one big gulp, he swallows the beans. They flow in his tummy like a long green string bean. You all could tell your friends, seniors, and high schoolers over here, this lady was talking about the string beans yesterday, and I was trying to figure her out. I just could not. And then after that, you young people, you often say, I know why I will eat string beans next time. The next time they are put on the table. Because you want to do it. Write some poetry. 1 bean, 2 beans, 3 beans, 4. 1 big go, and I'm back for more. Hey, I Billy, he would do some funny things to the snapping of those string beans. Grandma Annie makes us see pictures too. Pictures. Once she told me about her favorite poem. She wrote it when I was born. She wrote it right when I was born. She has a lot of grandchildren. But I was the one that came out like a plum. Do I look like a plum? I was the one that came out like a plum. And then I had some cousins who came out like celery. One of my cousins, she still looks like celery. Grandma Annie has these grandchildren. I'm called Plum. I call my cousin celery. And guess what? When I have these writing chores to do, I might huff and puff these strange sounds, but then I get that writing done. Sometimes I think it's like babble. But even if it comes out like babble, young people, first time, then you're going to write a second draft, and a third draft, and a fourth draft. And then maybe it will move from babble to Vidal. Don't laugh. My cousin says to me that she's not like celery. I told her she is like celery. If I have to be like a plum. I tell you, I want to end by saying, you're a writer. You are a writer. You are a writer. And high schoolers, can you say this with me? You are a writer. You with me? Okay, you gotta say it a little louder than that. You are a writer. So when you go back to school, you just look at people and say, guess what? I am. Oh, come on. I am. And then you all will say, I am a writer. And Guy, you will say, I am. And you will say, I am. And you will say, I'm a writer. Oh, I got you. Okay. That you're a writer. And remember this. And this is what I learned most from Grandma Annie and Papa Raymond. That the writing of poetry and the writing of short story is like a charm full of words that you can always carry deeply in your heart. Every day, I remember. It's a charm full of words that I carry in my heart. And so, wherever I am, I always like to honor the people who made writers possible. And so again, parents, from my heart to yours, I thank you for creating children, for affirming them in ways that have given them the courage to gift a word more paper. Thank you.
It's an honor to be here for these young writers, the Huntsville Literary Association. My name is Jimmy Robinson, and I'll be announcing first our honorable mention recipients and they'll receive a certificate here as well as a medallion. So, and you can come right up, this is where the audience, you can come right up and set of stickers right with